What's up, guys and gals? Welcome back to the Nerd Castle. Today in the world of indie games, we're going to be checking out Diplomacy is Not an Option. This is a very strongholdy game, maybe with a little bit of Age of Empires inside of there. This is a game where you're a king and people are trying to overthrow you. The unwashed masses of peasants apparently have a massive problem with your reign, and your goal is to put them down, and they will come en masse. If you've ever played something like They Are Billions before, this game is very, very simple. It's very, very similar, except for, like, it's got guys with pitchforks instead of, like, the slavering undead. So anyways, we're going to dive on in today, spend about 30 minutes with the game, and see if it's something you wanted to add to your wish list or otherwise pass on. If after watching this episode you did indeed want to check the game out, I will have a link for you down below in the description. Nice and easily accessible. And then on top of that, I'll have a link to my Discord and my Twitch stream because I will almost guarantee be playing this live on the day that this video goes live on Twitch TV down there in the description. So definitely check that out as well if you wanted to get a little bit deeper and a little bit longer of a look at the game. So without further ado, let's go ahead and dive on into the campaign. I don't need the tutorial. I think I'm good right there. The game opens up on actually a very stylized map that I like a lot. This map looks great. I think they did a good job with the color palette and generally just making it look really, really pretty. This right here is going to be our first mission in the campaign, so I suggest that we go for it. Apparently, our grandfather Duncan was a war hero. Apparently, this place is poor, but we wanted to, like, make it better. We'll go challenge accepted. Sounds good. I don't think there will be any problem with that. Yes. My lord, milady demands new curtains. Silk, my lord. With golden frill. Thank you, my lord. 1, 2, 48. My lord? What is it? Little Lord Squire fell into the moat. And? A new squire is needed. Thank you, my lord. This is about your daughter, my lord. Thank you, my lord. We ran out of monies. All of my gold bags is gone. Even more of them in the evening. Enter. My lord? Tax collector has just arrived? About time. Indeed, my lord. And where's my money? The tax collector didn't bring it. He barely got here in one piece. The peasants have revolted and refused to pay. A crowd of rebels is marching on the castle. Alright, so it's April of 1491. A fire of peasant rebellion broke out in my fief. The mob wants me, my family, and anybody else in the way connected with royalty dead. A mob of armed peasants is heading for my castle, ravaging everything their dirty rakes can reach. So here we are. We've been dropped in front of our castle. We can pause the game at any time with the spacebar. As you can see, there are little there's little like stylized storyline sequences that you can check out. As of right now, we've started out with very, very little, but we do have a few soldiers. Really, we're going to want to ramp up. The first of the peasant army is going to arrive on day 4. We are currently on day 1. I know, numbers start with 0 and end with 4, although I guess you could argue that they start with 1, because 0 is kind of like a default state. I don't know. Either way, I'm not a mathematician. I don't know the exact specifics. But what we do need to do is we need to get our kingdom up and running. So going through the UI right now, at the top we have the amount of population we have versus how much we can hold. This is our available population that can be trained into soldiers or otherwise turned into workers. We've got our food along with its consumption. We have the storage, which is this entire bar, how much wood we have inside of it. Once we have stone and once we have iron, the bar will change that color to represent the amount of that material that's being stored inside of here. We have crystals. Those are going to be used for spells that you can cast that blow up the battlefield, although as of right now, we're not going to have access to that. And then this right here is how much gold we have available. My first suggestion would be that we start getting like some berry picker places done. That way we have food coming in. They will work like this entire area, and I'd probably put in like 2 of those. You'll see that some of our workers will start to scramble. We start with like a default number of builders that deploy from the castle. Later on, we'll be able to make a builder's hut, and the builder's hut will allow us to get even further. But for right now, let's go ahead and we'll put in a couple fishy man's huts over here. There we go. That looks good. I'm trying to be solid on food for the next little bit. The other thing that we're going to need to do is we're going to need a lumber mill. There's just no way around that. People do have to walk all the way back to the castle to drop off their stuff. And so we want to put the lumber mill not too far out. I'll probably get 2 lumber mills real fast. Oh, I don't have enough population. Okay, well then I guess I won't. Let's go out and explore. I'm going to take some of my soldiers, and part of this game is very similar to They Are Billions. So there's going to be enemy encampments around, and if you don't destroy them when it comes to the final wave, they will jump in on that final wave, and it will add kind of a multiplicative quantity to the final wave that will make it very, very difficult for you to keep both your crown and your head on your shoulders. The other reason I'm doing this is just because I want to clear out the fog of war. I don't like it when I've got a whole bunch of just kind of like murky darkness along the edges of my kingdom. I prefer to be well appraised and scouted before we get to that point. Nice little food bag right there. It looks like we've got the first enemy encampment over on this side. I'm going to kind of let things pile up for a minute. We probably want to increase the amount of houses we have as well. That way we can get further population. We do have the wood to make that project work. And so I'll just kind of drop a couple houses back here. I don't really want to mess up my berries, though, so there we go. That's going to be the vast majority of all of our wood. And as you can see, our soldiers have joined combat against the peasant menace. The AI in this game is pretty good. If they're attacking a building and they are attacked on one side by, like, a normal infantry unit or whatever, they will automatically, without any input from you, swap from hitting the building to attacking the thing that is nearest in proximity and causing damage. So that's really, really nice. Cuts down on a little bit of micromanagement along the way. We do have a lot of bad guys down here. This is probably not a fight we should take right now until we have a larger grouping. We'll kill off these 2 or 3 that are following for right now, but we'll leave the rest alone. I don't want to trigger them. We're going to head down into the woods. Hopefully we can get ourselves locked down on some goodies out here. There are carts that are laying around that will have things like stone or wood or whatever inside of them. Typically they're guarded, but it is a good idea to do some baseline scouting and just kind of like look around because sometimes you just find free stuff, especially in the trees and whatnot over here. They do not show through the woods, and so I would just keep an eye out. We got some food right there. It looks like we got some carts of stone over here. Looks good. And then we've got a cart of wood over on this side. I'd definitely like to jump on into that and take care of business on that side. The first evening is upon us. I wouldn't worry too much about the first wave. I don't think we're going to need too many defenses in order to get through it. But by the second or third wave, you're going to want to have like a solid wood supply, and you are going to want to have yourself kind of palisaded off from the rest of the world. Otherwise, things are going to go very, very badly for you. There is a research tree down here in the bottom right. You can also, if you build a market, you can trade goods and trade items to get things you need in exchange for things that you have. Little peasant village down here. We'll wipe it out while we're in the neighborhood because we don't really have anything else going on. Also, these buildings drop magic crystals, although I haven't been able to use them just yet. There's probably going to be some carts of goods and things around here, too, that we can make use of. We'll go ahead and wipe out that building right there. I'm going to pause up real fast because I don't want to go too crazy wild. with my investment strategies. We're going to want to put in another wood chopper around here. Unfortunately, we're kind of deadlocked right now on what we can create versus what we can do.
Our troops are under attack.
I could put in a stockpile that's sort of in between where we want things to go. I think a granary would be a solid idea too, just to increase our food storage so that we can grow into it. Apparently, they decided to aggro the entire world over here. So we're going to want to back up for a minute. This game does have a unique mechanic where apparently, like, magic exists to some extent outside of just spell casting. When your units die, they will become zombies if you don't have kind of like a gravekeeper to take care of the dead bodies and bury them in the cemetery. So that's another thing to kind of keep your focus on and keep an eye out for, is that you are going to want to prep for like inevitable casualties that are just going to occur as you're playing the game. This is way too close for comfort on this side, so I'm going to get rid of it real fast. The storage space is up, so that's great, and then we should have the granary up very, very shortly as well. We do have another close enemy building right there. I'll probably get this one real fast while we wait. We have 13 more people now that are available to work for us, and so I'm going to focus on getting my wood supply up. We got to get lots and lots of wood, so there we go. I think those 4 should hold us. I don't think we'll need much more than that. I'm going to keep an eye on it. I don't recall whether or not I played this game back in like a Steam Festival demo about a year ago, and I don't recall whether or not the wood choppers actually chop down the forest, or if they just like interact with the trees and leave them unscathed, and like there's no environmental destruction. I can't remember. It's been too long. We do have a nice natural barrier to the north of us, and that natural barrier is supplying stone, which is another thing that we're going to need for research. A lot of the researches take stone, and there's just no way to kind of like weasel your way out of that. You're just going to need more of it. Our food consumption is going to go up with time and as our population grows. However, with the fishy mans and whatnot that we've already got deployed, I think we are in like a really solid position to not really have food problems for a little bit. There's also a very nice berry field back here, and we've been given actually fairly defensible sets of area that we can look after, so I think we'll be okay. I don't know where the first attack's going to come from, but when we have about 24 hours left, it'll tell us. It'll give us a red marker on the map what direction it's going to be coming from, much in the same vein as they are billions. Okay, so we have our first attack ping. It's going to be coming from the west, which is a minor headache. I haven't started building walls or anything on this side, but I think if we were going to do it, now is probably a pretty good time. I don't want to go too wild and crazy with my deployments. I don't have the wood, in all honesty, to go wild and crazy with my deployments. However, at the moment, I am increasing the amount of builders we have available so that construction goes a little bit faster. This will give us like 4 more builders, which means we can work on more projects at once. And then on this side, it should probably get done just in time for the invasion to happen. I've got a barracks being built, and so I'm going to put the rally flag like right over here. And we will start pumping out some units as well once we get to that point. So with 4 of these wood choppers over here doing their thing, it seems to be going okay. Do the trees actually fall down? Oh, they do. They actually destroy the forest. So at some point, we're going to have to take these and we're going to have to move them to a different spot. Gotcha. I love how interactive all the graphics are, though. Like, they bring back the log, and then you can see little guys working on sawing the logs into planks, and then a little guy will run the planks over to there. Like, it's all very, very immersive. Like, they've got all the details covered. Like, these are just not buildings with roofs that do their job and give you, like, a little static tick that floats up from the top of the building. Like, these are buildings that have character interactivity. We've got 2 minutes left. I would suggest that we get, like, let's say 5 more swordsmen, and then maybe a few more archers, just to kind of round out the military. I would also like to build another house or 2, if we've got a moment to get it done. These houses do upgrade. Later on, we'll be able to take them up to tier 2. For researches for right now, for 140 wood, I can make my walls stronger. I can get advanced toolkits, which make my builders go faster. I can also, for 50 stone, get comfortable shoes. Sorry, I had a hiccup right there. I don't know where it came from. It just emerged out of the ether. It crystallized, all right? But we can get comfortable shoes that are apparently made out of stone that make our workers run faster. For right now, we don't really have access to those things, but once we get our first stone quarry built over here, I think we will have access to those things. But I need 4 more workers in order for that to be kind of a cogent plan. As you can see, our army is beginning to be stamped out. They do get trained very, very quickly. Hopefully we will have a well-developed front line to hold the enemy back. We also have the catapult over here, which is basically just a crappy version of a trebuchet, but it'll work for the time being. Like, I'm trying not to get too crazy about it. I told them specifically I need trebuchets, but apparently we have budgetary constraints inside the government, so like, a catapult was the best we could get for right now. By clicking and holding down, you can select the facing of, like, some of these. There we go. He's being weird. But we can set up formations and things. This army right here should get us through Wave 1, and chances are it'll probably get us through Wave 2 as well. Especially because considering, like, on the first level, there's not a lot of things for us to build. And so I'm going to be spending most of my materials just building walls and stuff of that nature. I think we could get away with a couple more wood choppers, maybe. I'll probably do like 2 or 3 more. I want to make sure I have lots and lots of wood flowing through. I think they're going to attack with the dawn. Okay, and so our army is assembled. They're kind of facing the wrong way, but like I'm not going to get upset with them about it. Like, here, you guys set up like so. There we go. We got to look like professionals out here. You guys pretend like you've ever been drilled in your lives. Oh, apparently the catapult is already doing the Lord's work and blowing up peasants. All right. Well, enjoy your peasant murder. I mean, everybody's got a hobby. His is smushing peasants with rocks. So it looks like the enemy is forming up on this wall right here. I'm going to have everybody kind of deploy, and we'll just take care of them. I don't think that they're going to get through our fence, because let's be honest, that's what that is. You are able to station guys on top of the fence, in case you were wondering about that. Oh, a few more of them filed through down here. All right, we'll take a flanking action over here. I believe in you. Flonk it on up, my dudes. And as soon as you guys finish up with whatever of the enemy wave needs to be dealt with, I need you guys to push north because we need to secure access to this stone mine up here. Until we secure access to that, our stone is just going to be a really bad trickle. I'll get a few more people working on gathering wood right here because by wave 2, I'd like to have the walls up. But this is where I'm going to start editing a little bit more because you guys don't need to see the minutia on the in-between. I'm just trying to clear out these camps and get my base built up, and I think if anything, like, actually relevant happens, I will bring it on back in. It's nothing quite like a quiet afternoon of slaughtering the peasantry to really make the pain of rule go away. They are going to fall upon these soldiers right here. Hopefully my archers can pick them off before this gets too ridiculous. You can employ a little bit of a kiting strategy right here if you want to. You can micro a little bit. And I think you are factually, like, faster than the enemy is. And so anyways, you can always use that to your advantage by kiting or basically just keeping your units alive and running away. There are the occasional times where they'll peel off like that, but it shouldn't be too big of a problem. Nothing like an early morning cleansing the unwashed peasants of the world. Burninate some of their huts down here to make room. Like, I've got like a civic construction project that needs to go through, and them being down here just makes that more difficult. You know, this is one of those asset forfeiture type situations, like where the enemy needs to be eminent domained, and they need to be eminent domained like right now. I have kind of sealed off my access to retreat, but the good news is if we can work this area over here. Oh, good. Everybody's got their stone shoes now. They run a little bit faster. Anyways, we've already worked it out to the eastern border. Basically, the idea is I'm going to clear out to the border right here, and then we'll just do a semicircle around the edge of the map with the greater army until everybody is taken care of. We do need to auto-repair all this stuff, so I'll flag that real fast. The other thing we need is we're going to need a gate for, like, access to these areas. I think... like, that's fine. And that's fine right there. And then we'll try to get another one on this side. Although, honestly, unless the final attack comes from that direction, I think we'll be okay. I'm going to keep trying to steal everything I can from the peasants here. I may have let my food supply get a little bit out of control. So we will want to work on that ever so slightly. Luckily, there's a lot of berry bushes up here, so I don't think it'll be a large-scale problem. And then we've got, like, 2 more fishing spots over here as well. We actually got a really good spawn as far as the game is concerned. And so we should be able to provide for most of the units without too many problems. One observation I do have is when you're fighting in the forest, it would be appreciated if the enemy had kind of like an obvious outline that you could see while they were underneath the cover of a different object, like a tree or whatever. It would be helpful. Let's see if we can wipe out some of these dudes over here. Yeah, it seems to be going okay. Like I said, big old semicircle of death. That's all I can really do right now is just go around in a circle around the edges and wipe everything out to the best of my abilities. Whether or not I'm going to be able to staff these walls kind of concerns me, so the enemy squad will attack that day. Will they? Oh yeah, there it is right there. The second wave is coming on in 3 minutes, and it's coming from the north. A tiny bit of a headache. Don't love it. Not going to say that I didn't expect it. If it's going to come that way, it's probably going to hit right here. So I'll probably just get kind of a retaining wall. Maybe I'll take it up by like one more so that we get access to that stone mine right there. There we go. I think that's the direction they're going to hit from. So as long as we get a wall up right there, I think we're okay. Hey, what are you guys doing? Flee. Yes, come back to the archers. Okay, apparently that guy got trapped in. Sounds like a pain, but hey, sometimes things don't go the way that you want. Are you guys done with that building project over there? Because, like, we're going to need you to do this building project over here. So, like, maybe we'll dumpster that for right now and dumpster that for right now just to clear out the queue. And we'll bring them up to here. I'm a little bit worried that we're not going to have, like, the oomph to make this happen. Let's get some more soldiers. There's a food bag or two down here. We'll grab that because, as you can see, our food consumption is kind of rough at the moment. Are they attacking the gate? Oh, yeah, look at that right there. Do I have any soldiers available? Yeah, you guys should come down here and deal with this. Apparently, they're just really, really mad at my landscaping and fencing solutions. I think we're actually going to get the wall done just in time. It's looking really good. I'm going to go ahead and, like, just steal this little grip of land right here real fast while we're down here. And then I still need to clear that camp so that we can take the wall up to this wall right here and then wall it off right here. We're going to have a lot of points to defend once we actually get into the nitty-gritty of fighting the enemy. I think we're also in the market right now for, like, another granary. We're not storing up food at the rate that I would like. And so we'll get a little bit more granary stacked up. A few more archers would not hurt, I don't think. So we've got food. Yeah, go ahead and just kind of mash out some archers for me, would you? Perfect. I don't think we're going to need too much more infrastructure. So at this point, I think we just kind of want to build up the army and temper that in balance with the amount of food that we have available to feed these guys. Okay, so here comes the enemy wave. Let's get all of our archers and everything into position. And we'll just kind of hope that they don't do anything too nutty and crazy or tactical like go around. Because in the case that they do go around, I think we're going to have a thing that's called Really, Really Bad Tuesday. And so, here they come. Archers should open fire shortly. There's a nice little hit from the catapult right there. Look at that, they brought signs with them. I would have recommended you bring an actual weapon. I don't think a sign is a fantastically well-contrived, improvised weapon, but hey, you know, you guys do what you gotta do on a budget. I don't really know how things are going out in the exterior, you know, realm. I don't really pay attention to that. I'm a king. That means that I'm wealthy by default. So, are you guys going around right now? It does indeed look like they are going around. Alright, well, go murder some of these houses then. Yeah, like, you guys have a job. Kill off houses. I'm going to clear out this little area over here, and then I think we will be good to go. Now we need to get gates in. That's going to be our next major project, but we do have a fat army right now, which means that I should be able to go around the edges. I've kept 5 soldiers in reserve right here just to deal with any problems that may come up on the gates. We're going to want to populate most of these walls with archers, though. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play this as it lies for right now because we're pretty much done with the stuff that we can do in level 1. And I'll come back for the final wave, maybe. Operation Peasant Puncher is going pretty good. I've got the entire map cleared all the way around except for the southern border. They put up the most fight, like, right in here. There was, like, a big town of them with, like, a couple, like, probably about 100 guys in there that we had to kind of, like, I had to kite and bait and kind of get rid of them, but, like, it was fine. Like, it's just one of those little busy work tasks that, like, just like in They Are Billions, you want to be actively clearing the map at all times because, like, little victories in clearing the map early mean that you don't have hundreds of enemies adding onto your fight later on, which is really what you're trying to avoid. And so anyways, as you can see, another little nasty colony over here with lots and lots of stone, actually, for us to grab. And I want to upgrade my castle to tier 2. And so I think the stone is a really, really good idea because that'll give us access to farms. I had to move my entire woodworking operation over to this side just because it was too far. Oh, we're about to get hit from the east. Okay, well, we got a couple minutes, so that's fine. It's going to be like close quarters contact. But honestly, we're not even on the 4th wave yet, and we're looking pretty good right now. The game does have a sandbox mode that you can play, just like They Are Billions. I do think that the campaign in this game is far superior to the one in They Are Billions. And honestly, I would prefer like medieval stronghold gameplay to like zombie apocalypse stuff any day. I just find it to be a lot more appealing. We can open and close the gates as we think it is necessary. We had like a minor attack over here, so my units are kind of clearing that out right now before it becomes a problem. I'd like to grab the rest of this wood on this side. I'm going to have to find like a new food. Like, I need a food source too. And until we get that food source, I think we're going to struggle bus a little bit. I think that farms unlock around here somewhere on this little tree. Haven't really been doing any of the research. I've been kind of lazy about the research. I don't really need it. This first level, not that hard. The final wave is really the only part that's like, oof, and takes a little bit of effort to get rid of. Wave number 3 is on its way in. I figured I'd just show wave 3. I mean, why not show the fun and interesting stuff, you know what I mean? Let's move the army forward just a little bit. We should be able to meet them kind of head on. Yeah, you guys adjust over to there. You guys stand in front of them for if they get through. I don't think they will, but, you know. The waves are getting larger. I actually really like the design of how they pool up. I don't really want you guys to be, like, super aggressive for right now. Maybe just, like, hold for the moment. I don't think they're getting on through, but I have actually pre-prepped my population to make sure. Oh, they are getting through. Look at that right there, dude. They knocked down one of my little wallies right there. Well, they almost knocked down the wall. I think it's got, like, 1 HP left. Yep, that's what it looks like to me. Okay, get it fixed up. Get everybody over here and get it patched. But that's another wave down, and that's just a taster. The next wave comes from every direction from what I remember. So I'm going to keep on clearing the map out. With 40 seconds until landing, the final wave. I've got a number of towers and defenses and parapets and all that kind of stuff, castellations built. I'm sort of moving people around to figure out where I want them to be at because it says the main attack is going to come from the bottom left and the bottom right. There are going to be kind of trickle attacks in other directions. And so basically I'm just going to keep these guys in reserve right here and I'll put them on whatever wall they need to be put on. 9 archers should be able to make a dent. Honestly, our castle is really kind of stout. Like, it's hard to knock down. And so, honestly, even if they get in and they bulldoze everything, you still win if you survive this. And the castle takes a pounding. Like, I've had hundreds of guys on my castle, and it still doesn't fall. And so, anyways, here comes the enemy. I've cleared out the entire map. So we shouldn't have too many things messing with us along, like, ancillary areas. It should mostly just be these 2 fronts right here and maybe this front over here. But we'll kind of have to wait and see. But this would be the point at which if you hadn't been clearing out all the little townships and stuff, they would add into the fight, and then you would have to fight while facing every direction, basically. You guys definitely open fire. I don't know why they're not auto-firing right now. Why are you guys not auto-firing right now? Yeah, attack nearest target. Okay, or not, or you guys can just, like, sit here and do nothing. We're under attack on this side. We're going to want the army right there for when they get in here. We're going to want you guys over here. We're going to have you guys abandon position and come over to here.
They are attacking the walls.
Why are my guys not auto-attacking? They should definitely be auto-attacking right now, and I don't know why they're not. Pull them back off the wall real fast. Maybe I'll put some of these guys up in the tower real quick.
Our fortifications are under
There we
attack.
go. Tower's good. Tower is helpful. They are inside the walls right now, though, because for whatever reason, the auto-attack was not working. These guys appear to be auto-attacking okay. You guys get in front right there, just in case.
Our troops are under attack. They are attacking again.
Pretty good chance they're going to kill off a decent chunk of my units here, but it's okay. Looks like we're mostly just doing clear-up work on this side anyways. Yeah, looks like it's just cleanup. So actually, we have won the battle. Many infantrymen have sacrificed their lives, but at the end of the day, diplomacy was not an option. Thank you for joining me, and my name is Splattercat. I sift through the pile to find what's worthwhile in the world of indie games every single day so you don't have to. Diplomacy is not an option is a pretty good game. That bug I had right there, I may have had a setting wrong, I don't know. But like that where they didn't auto-attack on that right-hand corner, but they were auto-attacking on the western corner. Not really sure what caused that, but that's why the left-hand side fell. Otherwise, we would have been good. Other than that, though, the game is seamless, smooth. It's got a great graphically artistic style. Everything works exactly as you think it's going to work. It adheres almost exclusively to RTS standards and practices, and so I think the game is pretty cool. I'll see y'all tomorrow with something hot and fresh off the indie skillet. I will be streaming this game on the day the video goes live so that we can all hang out together and get further on into the campaign. But other than that, it's time for me to go. Thanks for hanging out, everybody. Bye-bye.